Good evening and welcome to the very first edition of Go Statesman TV for the 2014 school year. I'm Scott Wine. I'll be your host all year long as we're going to break down all sorts of Delta State athletics activities. But first, for this week's edition, we're going to have golf, cross country, men's, women's soccer, and of course Todd Cooley's boys on the gridiron, the Delta State football team. But first, let's head out to the cross country field as the Delta State cross country team took the Delta State Invitational just 2 weekends ago. The Delta State women's cross country team hosted its first meet in over 6 years Saturday at the Delta State golf course.
Super exciting having a home race. We haven't done that in years, and having having people here at school cheer for me and seeing coach at the finish line, it just really gave us that extra push that we needed.
The event featured 8 teams from throughout the Southeast region, including GSC Conference foe, Mississippi College. The Lady Statesmen were part of a lead pack that broke off from the group. The group of Lady Statesmen included junior Mary Catherine Chun and senior Tressa Lamb.
It's really important because you want to feed off of each other. You work with your teammates so much in practice that you know like how to pace yourself, and when you're with your teammates, they give you motivation to keep pushing and even to pass them.
Chun and Lamb would lead Lady Statesmen into the finish line, finishing first and third respectively. Lady Statesmen as a whole took 3 of the top 9 spots to win the event.
Champions today with a score of 41 points, Delta State University.
Well, just stay in line, stay in order.
Just not starting too fast on the first mile. That was my goal. I was trying to break 20, and I came within like 6 or 7 seconds. So I guess just being strong. I think we all did awesome. I actually haven't even seen them yet, so I'm so proud of all of them, and I think we keep getting better every race, so I'm excited.
The Lady Statesmen were supported all morning by a group of faithful fans that showed up as early as 7:30 in the morning to cheer on their team.
My 2 sisters and my mom were here, and they kind of stayed with me and cheered me along the whole time. I heard my name like every 10 seconds, so that really helped.
We had a really good turnout. A lot more students came out than I thought. It really it's really exciting for us as we see the students come out and cheer for us. I don't think a lot of people knew even what a cross-country meet was like.
With the success of this year's event, Chun and Lamb hope that the program can continue to host meets in the future.
We have trouble getting teams to come here, just I guess because it's the Delta, but we had a really good turnout today, and I hope that we can keep doing this. I hope we can make this an annual thing.
It's like hard work. Rotate it throughout the whole week.
3 miles each.
What are we saying, Delta State?
Delta State, 1, 2.
No, let's say we got the hardware. Wait.
I got to get to work.
We say we got the hardware.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
We got the hardware!
It's massive for confidence, obviously. You know, when you start picking up some wins, you start playing a little bit easier. You start, relaxing a little bit on the field, and things just seem to work out when you're winning. We could see that their defenders were getting tired, so we kept some of our guys on the bench, knowing that they would come on and they would, run them into the ground. So Jackson, he's one of those guys that will just give you everything he's got. He's a winner. Sometimes he can frustrate you though because he tries so hard and runs all over the place. But he's the kind of player again that you want to have in your team because he wants to win.
When I got out there, I got my chance the first half, came back, felt like I needed to prove something.
We were talking with my assistants, and we were actually talking about bringing him off, thinking maybe he's giving the ball away just a little bit too much. But there you go, he pops up with the winner, so can't complain about that.
Wow, first clean sheet of the year as well. So, yeah, he just kept us in the game when we were down and out, and we got the goal for him, so it's good. Breathes confidence, and then his confidence is electric throughout the team, so hopefully that'll help us Monday against LSUA.
Delta State opened up its season September 19th and 20th, hosting the Darrell Foreman Invitational. The top team from Delta State posted a 39 under to take the tournament.
It's kind of like dreaming, I guess. You always dream of having scores like that, but it was just off the charts having a team play 3 rounds, 39 under par, being 13 shots back going into the last round and shooting 20 under, and end up beating that team 10 shots. That's really just unbelievable. We play all over the country, and I've really never seen anything like that. I saw signs of it at the end of last spring when we shot really good at the regionals, 12 under to slip in to get to the nationals, and we shot 10 under at the conference. So I knew they had some potential, and everybody was coming back, plus one additional player. So it looks like they're just taking up where they left off.
Delta State was led by junior Reed Lindsay. Lindsay posted a 16 under for the tournament, taking the top spot.
Reed's been good since he got here day one. He's a junior now, and his focus and his work ethic has really stepped up tremendously, and he wants to be the best player in the country, and he's well on his way right now.
Lindsay was followed by senior Chad Couples. The senior finished with 15 under, including a course record 62 on the event's final day.
Well, that competition is the best practice we can have. You know, anybody can't take their spot for granted on the first team, and there's always somebody pushing them. And, you know, it's frustrating that only 5 can go to a tournament, but it's also good to know that somebody's there that can take somebody's place if something goes sour for them. They really work good together. They, you know, they hang out together a lot. Their attitudes, which I really enjoyed seeing, the attitude and the character of the players is really what I like to build on. There are a lot of areas that we can improve in, and several of the players have room to improve, and hope they will, because we know there won't be many 62s and 65s at every tournament. So, you know, all of them are going to have to step it up, and but all 5 or 6 or 7 of them that we got that are playing good can all, they're pushing each other.
The Statesmen will now take their play on the road as they head to Columbus, Georgia for the Columbus State University AFLAC Intercollegiate Golf Challenge.
Guys, let's all remember this 3 words, yeah? Passion, determination, respect. We're here to do it, not just for ourselves, for each other. And we're only going to do it if we do it together. That means we're not moaning, like nothing, heads up all the time. It's a game, it's not going to go right all the time. That's especially when we pick our heads up and work together and go through the hard times. Let's do it. Pick it up. Win every 50-50, let's go.
D-State on 3! 1, 2, 3! D-State!
After the game against West Georgia, where we thought we were a little bit poor defensively, we worked on that, making sure that our defense was tight. Everybody was working, doing their jobs, and making sure they're taking care of their responsibilities. So that was the key thing for us today, and we had success in that. And that's what we communicate to the girls, make sure we have success on the things that we've worked on, and we'll continue to improve.
The whole game we were trying to stay together, go forward as a team, but definitely towards second half we knew we were a good team. We were evenly matched. We could take them. We just had to keep pushing, keep going through it, and try to get the best result we could. That's one of the best teams in our conference, and we know it, and I think we played very well against them. So going forward, we just got to keep getting better, play the way we did today, and hopefully come out with a better result every other game.
It is a win for us when we do the things that we work on, and that's what we get across the girls. We're never okay with the result where we lose, but if we do the things we work on, that's positive. So now we've got our defense sorted out. Now we work on our penetrating runs going forward and scoring goals, finishing opportunities.
Southern Duplicating and the Image Specialist of Cleveland is a well-established, authorized Kyocera dealer, offering a full line of copiers, printers, fax systems, and duplicators. Our company has been selling and servicing throughout Mississippi for over 20 years. We've been awarded the Kyocera Premier Dealer Award for the past 10 years and have been named the Kyocera Service Solutions Provider. With a full line of network-ready Kyocera copiers, printers, fax systems, and duplicators, we can meet all your office office equipment needs. Give us a call at 846-6482. That's 846-6482. Abraham's, an historic downtown Cleveland, has called the Delta since 1979. Shirts, sweaters, and khakis by Southern Tide and Polo are favorites on all college campuses. Costa sunglasses work well with mountain khakis and jeans by Big Star and Silver. Abraham's has a large assortment of the North Face and Patagonia outerwear. Cole Haan, Johnston & Murphy, and Merrill Shoes, plus the finest tie collection in Mississippi, team up with shirts by Vineyard Vines, Peter Millar, and Cotton Brothers. Abraham's carries fine suits and sport coats by Austin Reed, S. Cohen, and Abraham's own private label. Abraham's, downtown Cleveland.
Yeah, that's why I like cooking here. You get all the meat free. Go to River Roast, you got to pay entry, plus you got to buy your own meat. That gets expensive.
That sounds like a deal. You just get all your meat.
Where'd you judge that time?
You did great, man.
Oh, bull crap.
Man, I always do you right.
Oh, me?
We like to eat, and which means we like to cook good food. A lot of trial by error. Justin George and myself have been cooking some pig for probably 15 years. You know, we just put a lot of love into it. We want people to come to our place and enjoy their food, and you know, sometimes we win, and sometimes we just have a lot of fun.
What do we got in here?
Boston butts.
Boston butts. How long have you been cooking them?
14 hours, or 30 minutes.
14 hours and 30 minutes. So when did you guys get out here this morning? When did you guys get out here this morning?
What time I get out here this morning?
Yeah, what time did you come out this morning?
I got here around 5:30.
5:30?
Left about 12:30 last night.
And what do you guys cook? How do you make it smell so good? How do you make it smell so good?
Yeah. Well, it's in here, firebox inside. Okay,
Yeah.
got a water pan. But this was a 1937 refrigerator.
Wow.
Made into a smoker. Me and a friend of mine, her husband, and kids.
So it's a small production, but you guys produce a lot of food. How do you guys make it happen?
Well, you know, I've done it so long that it just comes naturally, you know. I've been cooking probably 20 years.
I wouldn't have hung around almost 25 years if he wasn't. Yes. They
Ooh,
said
that's
I
that
worked
cab.
together. Yeah.
We got some, we have the ribs, chicken, hamburgers. We got cabbage on the grill with the smoked sausage, pulled pork, baked beans. I think that's about it.
It's a possibility. All right. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That texture or tenderness is one of your criteria.
29th annual pig picking contest, and this is the biggest one yet. 26 teams entered into all different kinds of contests, from ribs, chicken, and all types of different barbecue food. Now behind me is currently the rib contest. Now let's give it a shot. Let's see what we have. That's pretty good. That sounds like a winner to me. Let's go back out to the field. Good? How much barbecue have you guys eaten today?
This one in theirs, this one's for them.
Okay. How much barbecue have you guys eaten today?
A lot. A lot.
How much you gonna eat?
A lot more.
What's your guys' favorite piece of barbecue today?
Boston butt.
John Carly, look.
What you got there, buddy?
What you eating?
It tastes too good to talk, doesn't it?
Rib got your tongue?
That's it.
What is it, boy?
So we don't take all your food.
Seriously, there's two whole chickens, almost two whole chickens, except for what we turned in.
We went home for about 2 hours last night. We left here about 2 o'clock, and Rick got back about 5. I slept till 7, but so yeah, it's been nonstop. Last night it wasn't really competition, but we had a lot of friends and family here, and so we cooked some ribs and wings and that sort of thing. And then this morning we've been cooking we started cooking. I guess we put the first thing on about 4 o'clock this morning was when he started up the fires and all.
Welcome back to our pig picking festivities. We have with us Miss Dana George, one of the big organizers of this event. Miss George, just talk about kind of the environment. What's kind of going on today?
Okay, we're having a ton of fun. We have a ton of things going on. Right now we have barbecue competition in the background, and teams are competing in several different categories. We have lots and lots of people out, a bunch of activities for kids and such.
And that's one of the big things I noticed, that there's a lot of people moving in and out, kind of going between tents. I mean, it's a big, friendly environment. What's it like to kind of have an event like that where everybody is a friend and everybody's kind of roaming in and out?
I think it fits in so well with what we're trying to do here. You know, we've really pushed the family atmosphere, and there are no strangers around this place. You know, you may have a tent that has 3 people organizing what's going on under your tent, but really you're going to end up probably hanging out with about 300 if you come out here and do it right.
And that's one of the things that really I've taken a notice to, is that these tents are competing against one another, but they're also giving each other food. They're sharing recipes, they're sharing stories. I mean, is that something so unusual to these competitions?
It is. You know, we've been barbecuing at pig picking for 29 years. This is the 29th year. So some of these teams have been around for a very long time, and they compete against each other in other competitions as well. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. You really get to know each other. You share recipes. You kind of show each other what you're competing with and that sort of thing. And it does kind of create a family atmosphere.
And one of the things people talk about is you go to all these different cooking competitions, but they say Delta State's their favorite one. What is it about this Delta State pig picking event that makes it so fun and enjoyable for everybody involved?
I think it's the people. I really do. You know, I think they know that the end of the event is going to be capped off with an entertaining football game, but I really, really think it's the people who are just here and invested and have invested their time, have invested their efforts, and are excited to put on a really great event for the fans.
All right, thanks, Dana. And back to our coverage of the 29th annual pig picking festivities at Delta State.
It is by far my favorite event. You know, we've won Oktoberfest. We've always competed in that. But being a Delta State alumni, being here on campus, seeing, you know, what all goes on that Delta State does for us, it's just, you know, it's a special event for us. Just most all of us are Delta State alumni. You know, we love our statesmen. And, you know, we're here at the football game cheering our guys on and, you know, cooking. And, you know, we love to see our athletes. You know, our athletes come and see us, and the softball team, the baseball team, they all come. And so it is by far our favorite event. We would never miss this one.
I mean, you guys been standing in that house forever. We were on the Jeffco place. We used to come by all the time.
The atmosphere of the people, the camaraderie of the teams, and everybody, if you don't have a can opener, somebody says, I got one, and Bart, you know, it's just, the teams work together. The competition, they compete against each other, but they all help each other out. It's just a real good, like a family, big family. And everybody gets along, we don't have any problems, and we try to help each other out.
They're forgiving. You can go over and they'll share with you what they're using and things of that nature and what makes theirs better than others. One guy in particular right across from us on the sausage competition, he had some cinnamon roll left, and he cut just blocks out and stuck it in the middle of the cinnamon roll, heated it up and turned it in. I thought that was very inventive, and it made for a really good meal actually.
Abraham's, in historic downtown Cleveland, has called the Delta since 1979. Shirts, sweaters, and khakis by Southern Tide and Polo are favorites on all college campuses. Costa sunglasses work well with mountain khakis, and jeans by Big Star and Silver. Abraham's has a large assortment of the North Face and Patagonia outerwear. Cole Haan, Johnston & Murphy, and Merrill Shoes, plus the finest tie collection in Mississippi, team up with shirts by Vineyard Vines, Peter Millar, and Cotton Brothers. Abraham's carries fine suits and sport coats by Austin Reed, S. Cohen, and Abraham's own private label. Abraham's, downtown Cleveland.
Delta State wasted little time to please the home crowd as they connected on their first drive with the DeJuan Belair 2-yard touchdown run.
Our running game has improved, and you know, I feel like Coach Williams did a good job getting us a simple plan that we could execute tonight, and I think our guys went out and did it.
Delta State continued to score in the first quarter as Tyler Sullivan got into the action. completing a 20-yard pass to Jarvis York. Sullivan and the offense weren't done there, as the quarterback found Casey Osborne downfield for a 34-yard strike. Delta State went back to its rushing attack, as Timothy Foy used a 3-yard touchdown plunge. Central State answered back with a score of their own. The next drive for Central State wasn't as profitable, as Diego Lubin came around the end, forcing the strip sack, recovered by Artavius Morgan. After a Central State turnover, Delta State capitalized with a Jerome Stewart sweep play into the back of the end zone. Eddie McCadney burst through the hole for a 21-yard touchdown rush, his first of the game.
It was a great night. You know, the O-line, they really got after it. They worked hard this weekend, put in a lot of effort, and it translated over to the field. And what Coach Cooler wants from us every night, and that's what we showed tonight, to show that we can run the ball also.
Delta State wasted little time to find Green in the second half, as the first drive of the half went for 6. Timothy Foy rushed through the middle for 32 yards. Vinny Sharada connected on a career-long 47-yard field goal, extending the lead out to 52-9. The State defense was stout all night, totaling 4 turnovers and 2 sacks, including this one from senior Rory Island. The next Delta State score came from Eddie McCadney, as he found the middle of the hole, even dropping the ball, but able to recover, picking it up for the scoop and score. Central State seemed to be in business with a good kickoff return after the touchdown, but Latrell Peterson felt otherwise, forcing a fumble that was recovered by Ladarian Robinson. Special teams continued to roll later in the fourth quarter, as Jordan Howard took a punt return 46 yards to the house, extending that Delta State lead out to 65-8.
It was good to get Trace in there, and I just kept telling him, man, you got to finish this drive, you got to score. And he nodded his head, and about the next play, he hit it and made a good run and good blocking. And when he saw the end zone, he knew what to do with it.
I mean, that's just a childhood goal of mine. I mean, you come to games your whole life, you come out and you watch these guys play, and I never dreamed I'd be playing on the same field that those guys were on. And we got this new turf in, and I actually got to score on it tonight and on our first game out here, so that was a big-time experience.
Delta State concluded a wonderful pig-picking weekend here at home with a 72-8 thrashing of Central State. Now, the story of the day's game was the offensive outburst. 542 yards of total offense, 270 of which coming on the ground, 272 coming through the air. So it was a balanced attack for the Statesmen. Now, 4 different running backs for Delta State found the end zone, with 2 touchdowns apiece coming from Timothy Foy and Eddie McCadney. Now, Delta State will turn its attention on a road trip to Florida Tech next Thursday. That game will be on TV, GSC TV, which will be broadcast on ESPN3. So nothing more to say than another dominating win for Delta State, and it's off to a great start at 3-0. We'll be back for more next Thursday, live from Melbourne, Florida, as we're going to cover the Delta State trip down to Florida Tech.
Delta State Athletics would like to thank its corporate sponsors, Farm Bureau Insurance and Domino's Pizza.
This next piece is very special to me, as I helped this student athlete on her journey back when I had the pleasure of coaching her last season. Kelly Hendel arrived in Cleveland, Mississippi to play the game she loved, soccer. 3 years later, there is no doubting the seniors' love for the game. This is her story of handling the adversity.
How many hours have you spent in the Delta State training room?
Oh my God. I can't even, I don't know how many hours I spent in there. Just hours and hours and hours that I would just be sitting in there doing my exercises that I hated so much.
Oftentimes you'll hear the phrase, injuries are just a part of the game. For most athletes, they know that to be brutally true. And then there's senior defender Kelly Hendel. For the Ontario, Canada native, it has been injury after injury, followed by surgery after surgery.
ACL, scope, compartment syndrome on my left and on my right shin.
Athletes tend to be stronger and sometimes more stubborn than most. But after 4 surgeries in 3 years, the question that they never want to hear pops into their head.
So many times I just thought, I'm done. They're very difficult. Every time that I even thought about going in to talk to coach and tell him I'm done, I would think about it and then I'd be like, I can't do it. Especially being my last year, I had to. And if I didn't go all out, I would probably regret it the rest of my life.
Hindle, a senior on this year's Lady Statesman soccer team, knew she was in for a change when she arrived on campus in 2011, one that was 1,055 miles away. Little did she know how much the team and the Delta State community would help to mold her and eventually keep her playing the sport she loved.
I think there were times, obviously it's tough coming back, especially like a knee surgery like the one she had, it's tough to come back from. But I think inside, like, we all knew she was going to push through and eventually get to where she's at now.
There's been so many moments when I've been down and somebody on this field or in that building has told me to keep going. Even I would call my family at home and I'd be like, I can't do this. I'm gonna quit. And I would have my brother texting me, calling me, giving me these huge pep talks. And like, I just wanted to make him proud. I wanted to make my parents proud. And I wanted to make these girls proud too. Teammates, they've been there. Kayla, trainers, Gerald, Abby, even Abby, just meeting her last year. Coach, Christina, beforehand I would say, I don't know if I can do this, and she'd be like, you know you can, right? I'd be like, well, yeah, I just don't know if I'm able to, and she'd be like, you can do it. So like, the support system I've had here, it hasn't even been one person, it's been everyone.
Being in the training room so often, head athletic trainer Gerald Jordan saw just how determined Hindle was firsthand.
When she leaves here, literally, we will have left our mark on her via scars and things like that. But it doesn't, nothing has really bothered her. I mean, she's fairly resilient.
He's just awesome. Like, whatever I needed, he was always there for me. It didn't matter what it was. I could call him and say, I don't have a ride to treatment. And he'd ask, Kate, where are you? And he would come and pick me up. I bring him chocolate. whenever I come back from Canada, I have stuff to give him. He's part of my family. A constant person. He's always been there. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, even not being hurt, I could walk in there and sit in his office and just talk if he has a few minutes, just to say hey. Like, sometimes I just walk through there just to say hi if he's there. Like, it's such a great feeling knowing that when I leave Cleveland, this school, if I ever come back and they're still here, it'll be like I never left.
Even though the injuries have gotten in the way of Hindle's playing career, she believes she's better on and off the field because of them.
I would say that it hurt at first. I wasn't prepared for it physically or emotionally. Through each individual surgery, it's helped me work on a specific skill related to soccer that I didn't have beforehand.
That resiliency will return to the pitch with Kelly this fall. As a senior, she was named a team captain during camp, along with fellow senior and roommate Kayla Kazanowski.
I think this year she's definitely stepped up and like become more of a leader, and I wouldn't say people like respect her more, but she's also been hurt a lot, so I think that's something that's, now that she's healthy, it's more like of an impact having her out there with us.
It's stressful. It is so stressful. I want to do so well to help the girls, help the team. Like, this is my family. There's just so much pressure, but it's good pressure. So much stress, but it's stress that's not gonna stop me. I really don't even care if I start. Just being able to be on the field when it's my time to be on the field and to show all these girls that anything is possible is enough for me.
For every scar, there is a story. And for Hindle, the scars tell the story of how the game helped shape her.
I just feel stronger, like that I could do anything. Anything that I can put my mind to, if I just work at it. Things don't come easy to me. I have to really, really work hard if I want to accomplish something. And I feel like just knowing that I'm here on this team as a senior, as a captain, I never thought any of those would be possible.